Welcome back to Hypnosis. When we hypnotize a person, when a person becomes hypnotized, we've gone through the idea that they start going through the doors of the mind. They start getting to know what's really lying underneath this certain feeling, and we've gone through that. We have a certain struggle that we're dealing with, and it slowly became part of us, and we don't know why. We look at it now and we're like, this is only to my detriment. It's not really helping me out. So we take this feeling and we open it up, and we want to see what does the mind have stored behind those behind this feeling, behind those feelings. And we go in and we start seeing there are memories, and there's some ideas that we put into our mind, and there's some songs or some teachings, and that have shaped our perspective in this direction. And we realize where we went wrong, and we try to undo that. What do we do when we undo that? We undo the reaction, or we undo the belief system that has led us in this direction. But the thing is, all we're doing through hypnosis is we're undoing it in the mind. We're making it make sense otherwise. We're giving ourselves a new way of looking at the world. And next time we feel like we want to do this particular reaction, we want to feel this way, or we want to fall for this addiction, or we feel like whatever life is taking us in, and we want to react with anger or with fear or with sadness, whatever reaction we've implanted within ourselves. We have this whole thought that we created and this new conclusion that we came to in front of us. So we want to react with anger, but we tell ourselves, hey, wait a second, I went through this. I know that in the past I used to become angry, and it wasn't good for me. And the reason I became angry was because XYZ. And XYZ doesn't exist in my book anymore because I've learned to make peace with it. So we undo the belief system, we undo the reaction, and we set an awareness. But now what's up to you is to go and do the actual work and not get upset. You have to go about into the world and say, hey, stop. Don't grab me and pull me into you. Don't suck me in, because I am now choosing to live from the inside out. I'm going to be my own person, and I'm going to control the actions that happen and the words that I speak. That's what we're trying to do over here. So the ultimate point of getting to know oneself is really understanding, what am I here for on this world? Because if I know that there is a certain purpose, there's a certain gift that I have to give to this world, I will work tirelessly and will not let anything get in that way. I will make sure that whatever has been holding me back is eradicated, and whatever needs to be implemented for the future will be. And we could just do it with simple sheer will. We could decide on our own that the destructive behavior has to stop, and I have to start building and creating. We could decide that on our own, and we could, with principle, stand up and say, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to fight on all fronts. And some people get to a place in life where they get pushed into a corner, and all they could do is just, the adrenaline kicks in, and they could go for months just on overdrive until they get themselves out of that hole. And every person has a different line till where they're willing to be pushed into. Some people are like, they see that their finances aren't good in January, and they're like, this can't be happening. I'm me, like, out of everybody, this is what I should be dealing with. And then 3 months go by, and he still hasn't done anything. And then 3 months later, he's like, what? I thought about this in January. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of this. Like, suddenly when I made some money in February, I thought that things are good and I don't have to worry about it. No, I'm getting pushed back in. And then so it goes every few months, that this feeling keeps on repeating itself. And at some point, he gets pushed across the line. And he's like, that's it. I'm no longer pushing this off. This is happening now, and it's going to take, no matter how much work it's going to take, I'm going to do it, because this must stop. This must end. And we could do that. But with hypnosis, the idea that we're trying to do is that we have our own personal story. We have our own motivation from the inside guiding us in this direction. Meaning, When somebody's dealing with a certain issue, I always go to this. They get angry very often. They could decide on their own. I'm no longer getting angry. It's not going to happen. But what ends up happening is that they could stick to that for a while. But some days it's just going to be way too hard for them. They're going to start boiling from their brims are going to be exploding. So how do you protect that? How do you keep yourself sane in your mind in such situations? How do you keep yourself grounded, knowing exactly what you want, even as this anger comes and creeps up on you and it's so hard to get over? What can you have in mind? What could you think about that will calm you down? Okay? What you could think about, that's what the hypnosis session adds. It's a result of the hypnosis session. You go through all these thoughts. You go through everything that's really lying underneath this anger, this feeling of anger. And you look at the stories of your life. You realize the memories. You create this entire image of all the things that you've gone through. And then you reach a good conclusion, as we spoke about when we started, right? You reach this conclusion of, I need to be a different person. This can't continue. The reason I chose the reaction of anger was because back when I was 4, back when I was 10, it helped me out. I was immature, I was a kid, and I chose anger, and the bully left me alone. So that's why I'm continuing with this same behavior. But the thing is, this anger is not good for me in my life. Yes, I should know how to control it. Maybe there are times when it is useful. But really, every time I'm in traffic, every time somebody says something not nice, every time somebody takes my parking spot, like really, can I not just be a normal person? So we reach this conclusion of honesty, of like, really, look at myself in the mirror. I don't want this in my life. This is not who I want to be. And when you go through all those thoughts, and then anger says, hey, I'm back. No, I'm here. Like we used to hang out so much together. Why aren't we doing this anymore? You tell it. Listen, I grew up. I understand that we used to be close. We used to be buddies, and I used to see you every single day. But it's not good for me. This is not the life that I want. And we start being filled with this peace of saying, yes, I'm in control of myself. But not just that. Because I'm in control, I have this ability within myself to feel uplifted. I have this happy heart, a smiling grace surrounding me. Chesed Yosef Avenu. If whoever speaks and knows Tehillim, Chesed Yosef Avenu, we are surrounded by grace, or by kindness and by happiness. And it's like you ask, what is the purpose of hypnosis? What do we do over here? You're basically learning how to have conversations with yourself. You're learning how to have these true conversations, leading yourself in the proper way. And many times when we have our own conversations, when we go in with ourselves, we end up going down rabbit holes and we don't know how to get out of them. We go into them and we get stuck. Either we go over old memories and we get lost in them because either it was so exciting or we miss them so much and the feelings are just too strong, and then we just end up falling into sadness instead of helping ourselves out. But sometimes we have this other way of looking at it, where it's like, no, I go down there, and when I find myself falling in, I pull myself out of it. I pull myself out. I am able to go upwards and learn the lessons that I'm supposed to be learning from this. And that's what having a good friend is all about. You have a friend that you could talk to and have these conversations with and lead you. So instead of you leading yourself with your next thought, and who knows what the next thought could be? What if your next thought is only taking you deeper? How could you get yourself out of it? So when you have somebody, a guide, a professional, someone who knows how the brain works, someone who understands how the programming of our hearts operate, they know not to take you into these tough places. And if they do go in, then they help you get out of it. They help you find the light. They help you open it up and unpack it, so that way you could grow out. You could grow with it and not fall in deeper. And this entire story becomes the metaphor to your life. Anytime anger comes up, you say, hey, I did a session on this. I have thoughts about this. This is not the type of person I want to be. Every time this addiction comes up, every time this sadness comes up, every time anything comes up, I will know how to deal with it. You know why? Because I know that I want to be a good person. So this is just in the physical realm. I'm not talking about anything spiritual that I want to live with Hashem. That comes automatically. but just to be, I want to be a normal person. I want to be a good individual that does proper things, that's successful, that has purpose. And I don't want to end up in these traps, because these traps have given me a ride for my money, and I'm not willing to sign up for this again. So it's up to me. Take the reins and rule. As the king of my domain, I will rule. All right, that's my piece for today. I hope you learned something. I'm a hypnotherapist myself. You could reach out to me at LemmerHypno@gmail.com if you're interested in knowing more, or scheduling a session. I appreciate you taking out of your time. You could buy my books, Who Am I, which is about hypnotherapy, beautiful book, a story about someone who goes through different sessions and he learns a whole bunch of things through the stories and through his knowledge, and make himself recognize who he is. And then books, Tehillim Legacy Journal, and then I have Hebrew books and poetry books, and yeah, all the good stuff. So reach out to me, watch my videos, find my books on Amazon, reach out to me for my other books that are not on Amazon, and for hypnosis sessions, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful life, and I hope to see you again.